What is up, you guys? My name is Jordan. Welcome back to the channel once again, and as you can tell by the title, today is a highly anticipated video. We'll be going over basically all of my accessories, so rings, bracelets. I'm gonna put watches in there, necklaces, etc, etc. So I'm gonna try and not make this a super long video, but it might be. So the first thing I'm gonna start with is necklaces, and the first one is going to be this one right here. You've seen this before in some of my previous videos, and you guys always seem to ask about it. Unfortunately, you can't get it anywhere. This is a piece that my great-great-grandpa, or great-great-great-grandpa, actually won in a poker game back in like 1901, and it's been passed down through the generations now to me. So it's very sentimental, and it's the only thing I have left of my grandpa since he had passed away. And I feel kind of proud because he skipped my dad and he gave it straight to me. So yeah. Second necklace that I own is this one right here. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the internet. This is from the collection that Sanj did. He did a little collab with one of his jewelry maker friends over in London. And yeah, he was kind enough to send me one because we're friends like that. And yeah, it's just a really cool piece. It's all sterling silver and all that jazz. It's kind of, I call it the croissant necklace, but he described it as kind of like a tiger claw because he has a big tiger tattoo on his chest, and he wanted something to kind of symbolize and go with that. And that's what this is right here. Next up, we have the bulk of my jewelry collection. If it's not vintage, if it's not thrifted, if it's not an antique, then it is 100% from my good friend Tevin Vincent. He has his own jewelry line, he has his own jewelry collection, and pretty much everything that I have that's not vintage is from Tevin's collections. Not only is everything 925 silver, it is affordable, which is the main thing. You're not gonna be spending hundreds of dollars on your jewelry. You're gonna be spending way less. And I got you guys a discount for 10% off if you just used Jordan10. If you like anything that you see here from Tevin, I'll have it in the description for you below. And yeah, you guys feel free to shop, get your collection growing, and let's just jump right into it. Little disclaimer, Tevin makes really cool names for his jewelry, and I don't know what they are off the top of my head, so I'll have little pictures for you on either side when I'm showcasing the jewelry so you guys can actually see. But I'm just gonna be describing them the best I can. So this first one right here is just like a mini chain link bracelet. It is super shiny, which I like, if that makes sense. But other than that, it's just a very classic, minimal piece that wears really well on your wrist, and it just kind of blends in. It's not too big, it's not too small. It just looks like a nice piece of wristwear that goes with every outfit or anything that you want to wear. So just a nice classic piece. Next up from Tevin is also going to be this one right here. I would say this is more of a geometric kind of link, if you will, more rectangular, but just like the first one, it is a very classic, minimal, shiny. You can wear them both in the shower, which is nice. They're not gonna leave your wrists green or anything like that, so you don't have to take them off if you don't want. You can live in them, but they just stack really perfectly. They go together perfectly, and that's the point of like all jewelry, is to stack effortlessly, not be too overpowering, and kind of just complement your outfits, your style, everything that you're kind of doing. You know what I mean? Moving into a vintage piece, we actually have this one right here. You guys might have seen it a few times on the Instagram or on some of my videos, but my grandma actually gave this to me. So once again, another thing that has sentimental value to me personally, but other than that, not much to say about it. It's just a turquoise oval bracelet. All right, next one is another vintage piece, and honestly, this is one of my favorite bracelets that I own because it is so cool. It reminds me of Austin Powers. It is a sterling silver 925 charm bracelet. It's a Western themed charm bracelet, so it's got a cowboy boot, cowboy hat. It's got a freaking revolver right in the middle. But other than that, I just really love it. It just adds a little bit of just I have never seen someone wear a charm bracelet unless it was from like, the 90s. But I don't know, I thought it was cool. I thought it was pretty awesome, and it gives me like that kind of rock star vibe, so that's why I got it. All right, so next up we will talk about rings. This is probably the most anticipated part of the video. And it was actually probably the most anticipated video in general, but I just decided to do accessories, all of them. But yeah, we'll talk about rings. If they're not vintage, they are from Tevin Vincent. That is pretty much where my ring collections come from. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about them as a group because I like to pair them together rather than wear them by themselves. So I'll talk to them as a group rather than one by one. So first up on the pinky, I have two of them that I stacked together. I have a rose and I have a skull. I like to just stack them together, just kind of, you know, they're small enough to go on the pinky and look like one ring and not two separate rings, but they just kind of give a cool like juxtaposition to each other. One's a ring, kind of shows life, and then another's a skull, kind of shows death, so you kind of get both life and death. I don't know, it's weird, but I thought they looked cool together, and they were just a really kind of easy piece to put on my pinky. Next up, moving to the ring finger, another pair of rings from Tevin Vincent. We have kind of like a barbed wire chain link looking thing, and also what I like to consider it as a kind of like a brick wall, like a brick wall vibe as well. I stacked these once again on my ring finger. I put them just nice and close together. I just like stacking jewelry because it gives it a different look than just having one by itself. It looks boring. I like to put two on there so it kind of gives you something to look at. It kind of fills out the finger and just gives it a nice look. Next up, we have a vintage ring right here. I wish I remembered what the stone was. I don't. If you guys know what this is, please let me know. But I just fell in love with it because red is my favorite color, and this is a really like deep, dark maroon red. On the side of the ring as well, it has the same stone inset, kind of 7 of them on each side, and then just more designs in the band of the ring in itself. But just a nice little beautiful ring that goes well with the silver jewelry that I have and kind of fills out the hand nicely the way I wanted it to be filled out. Moving on to the other pinky, we have another vintage piece. I just thought this was a really unique, kind of different piece that I've never seen before. It is in almost like a diamond shape. It's really cool. It has 2 separate stones in it just to give the pinky a really cool look. Kind of reminds me of like a shield or something like that, but other than that, just a really unique piece that I thought will go well with the collection, go well with kind of the vibe that I was going for when I was looking for the rings, and I fell in love with it. Next up on the other ring finger, I have these 2 from Tevin Vincent once again. One of them is a chain link, you know, ring, and the other one is a really cool triple like layered ring that has like a pivot in it, so you can like flip them around. You can do different things with them, but it comes with basically 3 rings in one. Moving on to the middle finger, my favorite finger. I'm just kidding. We have 2 more rings from Tevin. These are basically from his bohemian theme or vibe, if you will, for the rings. I don't know how to explain them as good as that. It's just saying they're bohemian themed. They just look like something would be like from an island, I guess you could say. And for the pointer finger, I don't always wear it, but when I do, I have this super sick like dragon talon kind of ring. It's really cool because if it's too small, you can kind of open it up a little bit since it's not like a completely closed ring. If it's too big, you can kind of close it a little bit. I sometimes wear a smaller version of it on a different finger, and I stack it with a different ring as well, so it gives it a little bit of a bigger effect. But if not, I just wear it on this pointer finger, and it fills out the hand perfectly, so I have a full hand of jewelry, which is nice. And last but not least, my watches. I only have 2 now, so I pretty much did that video back in the day where I had like a bunch, and now I only have 2. So I have this first one right here from Shinola. It is the moon phase kind of white-faced watch. Really, really beautiful, very classic in design. I like that it has like a circle face and a square body. Something that I just really fell in love with and that I really, really loved. And I wear it all the time, and I know you guys like it as well. I'll try and find it for you in the description, but just a very, very classic piece. And the second one I wear is the Seiko Alpinist. This is the SARB 017. It's a green face, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. I fell in love with it when I saw it, and not a lot of people wear Seikos anymore, and the Alpinist collection, the Alpinist range, is a beautiful range of wristwear and wristwatches that I plan on getting more of. I want to get some of the vintage ones from like the 60s, but those are a little expensive. All right, you guys, that covers everything pretty much. Is my necklaces, those are my rings, those are my bracelets, my 2 watches. That is my accessories collection, at least for this time being. I plan on getting much more as time goes on. Everything switches, everything changes. Maybe in a year from now, it'll be all gold pieces. Who knows? But like I said, everything here is either vintage or from Tevin Vincent. So if you guys are looking at anything that you saw here and you liked, check it out in the description below. Like I said, Jordan 10 gets you 10% off of Tevin Vincent as well. I highly recommend it. Not only is it affordable, great quality, very unique pieces as well. And yeah, there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna go film another video right now. I'll be talking to you guys, well, whenever the other video goes up. So yeah, all right, bye.